Mana Stone. Oh, shit, Mana Stone. Okay, when did I check in last? Oh my, it's been 8 hours? What have I been doing? Oh, energy drinks, why haven't you been invented yet? Me, no! My Mana Stone! You, EverQuest! You!
Welcome. We are live.
Guess who got the soundboard?
Oh boy, here we go.
I am Draq, your resident wizard. I'm joined by Dymlos and also
hello, everybody.
Our main ranger, Therek.
Hello.
We are doing a little bit of RPG March Madness. This little thing we do every year. We bracket some stuff. We pick some brackets, and then we have voting. It's tons of fun. If you have not filled out your bracket yet, you need to do so. That is over on the Discord. Make sure you get to that. So the Discord is right on the screen there. You can't miss it. No matter where you're streaming. We may or may not be streaming on YouTube. Last we looked, we were not. Apparently there's some kind of issue. But
I switched to Twitch.
Switch to Twitch. I guess apparently it's just Twitch tonight. I don't know.
No, we are on Kick though.
And Kick.
Kick. No, we're still kicking.
We're kicking.
Sparrow objects. She wants the title of co-ranger.
Absolutely deserves.
All right. So the rules for tonight, just to make sure we're on the level here. The rules for tonight are that this is going to be a try bracket. So Dymlos and Therek are going to pick the vote on the team that they would like to win each matchup. If they agree, we're going to go with that. If the tiebreaker has to happen, I will choose the tiebreaker. And that's how we're going to pick this whole bracket. And then once we're done, I'll upload that bracket to the brackets, just like you can, and then we'll be able to score it like everybody else. Now, of course, our bracket won't win any prizes, because we're probably going to get first place anyway. So it's probably just a foregone conclusion that we're going to win.
That 1 in 5 million chance that we get the perfect bracket. We're going to do that tonight. I was looking up the official rules for brackets on the NCAA.com website, and they said it's like there's like 1 in a quintillion chance of nobody's ever gotten a perfect bracket in the sports world of brackets. But tonight is the night. I got a good feeling.
Tonight is the night. Well, we got a bunch of people in Twitch. Stands in the Fire, Mr. C, Tech Ninja, Aaron Ellis. Welcome. We also have Gulu Gaming. He did a Therek's Rainbow, so let's get that out of the way real quick.
Got to get it out of the way.
Just start strong. Oh no! I can't go on without Therek's Rainbow. Come on, Draq, make it happen.
Holding.
Hey, Dorkachu, what's up? I'm so glad everybody was able to come out at like last minute, because we didn't really announce this like too far in advance. I think it was like Wednesday that
we didn't even really know we were doing it.
No, we didn't know we were doing it. I said it to Draq. I was like, "Hey, Draq, what do you think? Like, should we stream? We could do like a stream where we just do our own bracket and do that live, because the voting starts next week. So this was like perfect." And Draq, the man of action that he is, took it upon himself and said, "Let's do it." He got it set up for Friday for today, and all Dymlos and I had to do is show up. We had to put in no work other than making our own brackets, so we know
one of us
we're not here for 6 hours.
That's Dymlos' favorite type of stream right there.
Yep.
All right, here we go. We're gonna
stream.
We're gonna try this Therek's Rainbow one more time. All right. Here we go.
Dan can write anything. Tales to grow. It's the law you know on Therek's Rainbow.
Therek's Rainbow.
Therek's Rainbow.
Therek's Rainbow.
Brings a tear to my eye.
We do not want to deny the channel points. That is a sacred thing here at staticgroup.live. So, all right,
Yes.
well, let's dive into this thing. So we're going to start with fantasy, old fantasy, what I'm calling old fantasy here, 1980 to the year 2000. So we're going to start with the number 1 versus the number 16. Do you think that Ultima 7, a game that I loved and played and made sure was on the bracket, by the way, because Dymlos was like, I don't even know this game.
I don't even know it. We already
I'm
know
here
where
to-
Vote 1 is going.
Oh my gosh, I'm here to represent the Ultima franchise in its entirety, because the fact that Ultima 7 is the only game on this list and the greatest single player RPG of all time is mind-boggling. I would have voted for Ultima 6. That was my personal favorite, but Ultima 7 was very good too, arguably more popular. However, having said all that, something we need to clarify ahead of time before we get going too far too is that we are voting on the game that we think will win. So which game will be voted on by the community?
We're choosing winners here. We're winners.
We're choosing winners, not our personal favorites, because I would definitely take Ultima 7 here. 100% hands down, easy. However, Final Fantasy 7 is, like, we're starting with one of the, I would say, favorites for the whole bracket, and I would say Final Fantasy 7 is gonna win this bracket.
Is that your official
before we
vote?
give-
Are you locked in?
That is my official vote. I'm
All right.
locking it in.
So before I give my already given vote, I want you to know, Therek, that this category almost with the cutoff, what I originally envisioned for both fantasy brackets is that this game was the split. Like, I literally looked up when did Final Fantasy VII come out, and it was January 31st, 97?
I thought it was
think?
94.
Whatever, doesn't matter. And that's when I was going to have the cutoff, because this is the game that really separates old school, new school. Like, everything before Final Fantasy VII, was kind of the same. You know, the graphic wise, of course. You know, we think the old bits, but this game, when this came out, this revolutionized everything for RPGs. And so I wanted this to be like actually in the new bracket, because this to me represents the future and where we are today because of this game. So without a doubt, Final Fantasy VII is the clear winner of this one, and likely a good chance to win this whole bracket.
Yeah, it's gonna go far. It's gonna go far. I think that's a no-brainer. And I agree with you. I mean, like, it's not. I actually am not, like, I have no experience with Final Fantasy VII. My Final Fantasy experience is very limited to the early games. So, but I know that it's popular. I know people love it. I know it's been people's. You know, I hear people talk about it all the time. There's also the fact that there was a recent game that just came out that's sort of feeding into this, and I think we're going to see that a little bit in the.
It definitely hit
bracket.
the old feels and the new feels with the new game coming out. All
Yeah.
right, so we're
But I mean-
we're penciling in Final Fantasy VII here.
Yeah, thank
I
you,
don't know
Draq,
how
for
we
stopping me, because I will ramble on about Ultima 7 for a while if you let me.
Remember when we were like, this could be a 5-hour stream. Let's go.
We're not going for
Exactly.
5 hours. I have other stuff
No.
to do tonight.
Sorry, Drax kids, you're not going to whatever it is you got to do.
Daddy's busy tonight doing nerd stuff.
I think my wife would execute me if I missed the little music performance they got tonight. So probably not going to happen.
Can't miss those.
Oh, God.
Cannot miss
No.
those.
No.
All right. So if one Final Fantasy is good, two more is even better. So Final Fantasy V. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I misread that. It's Final Fantasy V versus Phantasy Star 4. These are both games that I have not played, so don't make me make the decision here.
You got to go, Dymlos. You're the expert here
okay.
on this one.
Well, I mean, so I've played quite a bit of both of these, and I just recently picked up Final Fantasy V again, and this is from the old podcast. If you remember this thing called Game Geezen, you know, Nathan's a huge Final Fantasy fan, so I picked up the old Pixel remaster for the Switch and dove into this one again. This is the birth of the Paladin, so
Oh.
without a doubt, this is my choice. Final Fantasy V is definitely going to be Phantasy Star 4. I love Phantasy Star 4. Don't get me wrong. The whole series is good. This is probably the Phantasy Star 4 is probably the best one. But as far as Final Fantasies go, this is in the top 3 or 4 of all time Final Fantasies for me. So yeah, and plus the birth of the Paladin. So
Wow.
it's for me Final Fantasy V, no question.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I haven't played Phantasy Star 4, but I have played Final Fantasy 5. Not a lot, a little bit, but it was a good game. But once you get past Final Fantasy 3, for me, is where it kind of loses me. It got a little too I don't know. It got a little too off track of just a straight up RPG and
It
a little
got too action
much,
gamey.
Yeah, it got too much into a little too narrative storytelling and away from the RPG for my taste. But
All I want
you
to
know,
do is field 2 warriors, a white mage and a black mage,
Yeah,
and go kill
yeah.
everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then so it was a little too much. There was too much dialogue after the third or fourth one.
Way too much dialogue for Therek. Okay.
You heard it here. Yep.
All right, moving on. The original Legend of Zelda, one of my favorites, versus Lunar the Silver Star Story, which I have not played.
Easy. Yeah. I mean, The Legend of Zelda. I haven't played Lunar either, so this is for me. I would be my personal choice, and I feel like it's what the community is going to pick. So I mean, the original Legend of Zelda is classic. I had it on the NES. I remember I had 2 games. I had the Super Mario Brothers that came with it, and I had the gold cartridge of Legend of Zelda. And you know, it just look at what's happened since then. I don't see how anybody could. I'll leave it before I say that. Dymlos, what do you? I'm sure you have something to say about this.
I'm really glad that you said that because I am absolutely picking Lunar over Zelda.
Wow.
Zelda was number one, not even the best Zelda game that's even on this bracket or this list.
That's
so
true. That's true.
Although I love Zelda, the original Zelda, I remember flipping that thing on. I had my own soundtrack to it. The Goldfinger self-titled album was what I rocked out to while I played the original Zelda. I love this game. But let me tell you, Lunar the Silver Star Story, and not that crappy Sega Saturn version, Lunar, whatever they called it, but this is the PlayStation 1 Silver Star Story that they remade, and they made so much better. The music in this game, the main female character, her name is Luna. Her power is singing. How could I not pick this game? And I don't care. I know we said what are people going to pick? I don't care. I love this game too much. I love this game too much.
We are 10 minutes into the stream, and Dymlos has already thrown out all the rules.
There were times
I
did the same thing a couple times where my pick had to override what I thought would win. But that's like there's only like 1 or 2 of those. But I will say the music in Lunar is awesome. I listen to a podcast called Pixelated Audio. If you want to hear like old school, like this type of music, they talk about Lunar all the time. So the music's amazing, way better than the music in Zelda. And I have the Zelda as my ringtone, right? So what does that tell you? But yeah, I mean, I think Zelda's going to take this bracket.
Probably, and I'm sure Draq's going to pick Zelda since we split. But
yeah,
I just want to vote my vote to be heard for Lunar. your all-time favorite RPG.
This was a super safe vote by Dymlos because he knew that there was no way I'm voting for a console game that I've never played.
Yeah,
he knew.
So Jack,
he knew that. No, it's totally Zelda. Are you kidding me?
I
played the heck out of that game.
It looks like chat.
It's a good game.
Sorry,
no question.
Sorry, Matadin Gaming. Sorry. It's not.
We'll see. You know what? This is just what we think the fans are going to vote for. Please come vote. Come vote for Lunar. Let's boot Zelda out together. I'll be voting for Lunar. Come vote for Lunar with me.
So just in case you guys
he's headed over to the Lunar Discord after we're done here to rally support for this.
He's inviting everyone. Invite your friends. Invite your family. There was a voting thing back on Nathan's channel a year or so ago that we may have flooded with votes. As long as they're legal votes, get your family, get your friends. I don't care. Vote. So those of you that don't know, you can fill out a bracket over on the Discord, and then every day on the Discord, I'll be putting up matchups that you then vote on. And then the winner, you vote by putting in the correct emoji on the matchup, and then it will be moving on. We'll start off with 2 a day until we get through the first round, maybe the second round too, I'm not sure. And then once we get to the end games, it'll just be 1 a day. So it's super fun. We have a great time with it every year.
Yeah.
All 4 members of the Lunar Discord.
Is there even a Lunar Discord? Probably not.
All right. So Breath of
he plays Zelda CDI games. I don't even want to hear it.
I put that at the wrong spot. That's why
you're not wrong.
Making any sense to me. So Breath of Fire versus Baldur's Gate. Breath of Fire, I thought that was a Zelda game, but apparently it's not. Zelda Breath of Fire. Isn't that one of the
part of this?
He's just here for the technical aspects. He's just here to run the stream. No, it's not a Zelda game, but it's a good game. It is a good game. Breath of Fire is a very good game. However, it's up against Baldur's Gate, which is also a very good game.
But it's the first
Of
one.
all the three, yeah, I was just going to say, of the three Baldur's Gate games, it's arguably the weakest of the three, I would say. But yeah, it's good. It's good. I love that game. I played it. I've played it a lot. You know, the only complaint I have with the game is that there's a huge difficulty spike at the end where it just becomes unbelievably difficult. But I think it's going to take this bracket here.
You think it's taking the whole bracket?
The whole bracket?
No, I mean like just no. It's
Oh,
taking
the
this
first.
matchup.
this
game.
matchup.
Yeah.
Strike me up for the same. Baldur's
Yeah.
Gate. So for the people out there that are watching, when we came up with this list, at start we were like, do we just name the whole franchise? You know, but then we had so many Final Fantasies, and there was no way that I was just going to lump Pokemon all into one. And you know, so it's like, okay, so let's split it up. So this is kind of where this came from. And sorry if some games didn't make it on because we had to split up, but Baldur's Gate obviously started a wonderful, wonderful franchise. Probably, in the third edition of it, a game that has a chance to take in this whole thing, right? Like, so we had to have it on there. It absolutely beats Breath of Fire. Like, there's no question. And I enjoyed Breath of Fire. Don't get me wrong, but the storyline of Baldur's Gate, D&D, that's what I do. So, yeah, it's for sure getting my vote there too.
All right, so Baldur's Gate beats Zelda Breath of Fire. Got
it. Zelda Breath of Fire. Oh, Draq.
All right, moving to the bottom half of the bracket, we have Zelda Ocarina of Time, a really good one, versus Suikoden. I knew I was going to butcher that. Suikoden 2. We're just, I don't know if you've noticed this, Therek, we're just kind of weeding out Dymlos' little weak console games here first. We're gonna get past the first round, then we'll be to the real games.
I think your judgment so far has been perfect, Draq. I think you've been splitting the decisions perfectly the way I see it.
100%.
Well, we only have one that we've disagreed on, right, so far. So that's not bad. I don't think we're going to disagree on this one. This particular matchup is the Nathan Napalm. Either way, I'm going to cry because these are my two favorite RPGs of all time. Sorry, Nathan. I wanted to see this happen, so I kind of played a little puppet strings just for you, Nathan. But this is the best Zelda game. This is the number one. Breath of the Wild, you're great. Don't get me wrong. This is the number one. There's no question about it for me. So
I don't know about
that. 2. I can't wait to play the remake when it comes out, if it ever comes out. But vote for Ocarina of Time. Go there.
Yeah. I think you're right about it. Ocarina of Time being the winner of this matchup. I've never played Suikoden 2. I don't know the franchise at all. And Ocarina of Time is not, in my opinion, either 4th or 5th on the Zelda game list. It is not my favorite Zelda game.
4th
it's good.
5th?
Yeah. I like the first one better. I like the second one better, which is Heresy, because I know people hate the second one.
I love the second one.
I love the second one too. It's actually, I like it better than the first one. But Breath of the Wild's better. Tears of the Kingdom is better. Yeah. I mean, I like Link's Awakening too, if we're including those ones.
Wonderful. I should have had more Game Boy representation in here too. Sorry.
Yeah. I just played the Link's Awakening on the Switch not that long ago when they re-released on the Switch, and it was awesome. It's a great game, but Ocarina of Time is a good game too. The N64 it was on the N64, right? Ocarina of Time?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It was I was past the console age at that point. I was all PC, so I don't have as much experience with it. But I did play it, and I did like it. It was just not my thing, not my favorite.
All right.
Fair.
Reminiscing time over. Legend of Zelda wins. All right, coming up next, we have one of the original RPGs ever, Bard's Tale versus a juggernaut, Diablo 2. There was a little bit of a discussion about should Diablo 2 be on this list. Is it a multiplayer game? Is it a co-op game? But we eventually decided that Diablo 2, most people played as a single player experience. And so we voted that it was in fact a single player game worthy of being on our list. And we went with 2, not 3, just because we think that's
Certainly not 4.
and certainly not 4.
Yeah.
Just because we thought that was 2 was slightly better than 3, but both worthy and very good.
Yeah, Diablo 2 is an ARPG and it has RPG in the title, so you could look at it that way too. I love Diablo 2. It's my favorite of the franchise. I played the hell out of it. I like Bard's Tale 2. I played it quite a bit. Classic old school game design, designed by, sort of like sort of big names in the industry behind it, but just not as good. I mean, more for sure, but I think that Diablo 2 is way, way more popular. Way more people know about it, so it's my personal pick, and it's like the community pick, I think. What do you think, Dymlos?
I hate to agree with you because, as the real life bard, right? Like that's my jam. There were so many witty quips in Bard's Tale. It is such a great game. It is the OG. Hard to vote against it, but Diablo 2 reigned supreme for such a long time. Like it just that was a game that people talked about much, much longer than Bard's Tale. That's for sure. But
there are people with submitted
well.
brackets that have Diablo 2 winning the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that makes sense. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I stayed up till 4 a.m. playing Diablo 2. Like I just lose track of time playing it. It was just that kind of game. Bard's Tale is funny, like you say, Dymlos. Hilarious, like lots of interesting humor, but not the same hooks. Didn't have the same hooks.
All right,
agreed.
We're putting Diablo 2 in there. So I don't know. I mean, I know Dymlos has filled out some brackets before. Therek, have you done a lot of bracket filling outing?
No, not. I wouldn't say a lot. I think I've maybe done a couple before.
So in the March Madness bracket filling outing, when you go with all the favorites, it's called chalk. You're taking the chalk pick. So you guys are very chalky so far because you really you picked a 9 over an 8, but other than that, you picked all the favorites so far. So
someone went with a 13 early, but I got outvoted.
You're gonna have to get some upsets in here at some point. Maybe the next one will be the upset: Final Fantasy VI versus Tales of Destiny.
This is the bracket that makes me cry. Over there. This is the bracket that if Nathan's is Ocarina and Suikoden, Final Fantasy VI and Tales of Destiny is mine. No one wins when I have to pick one of these two games because Final Fantasy VI is my absolute favorite Final Fantasy, and Tales of Destiny is my namesake. The main character named Ston, he had a sentient sword named Dymlos. So
I had no idea.
Yeah,
look at all this lore we get tonight.
I learned the lore of Dymlos tonight. Wow, I didn't see that coming.
From. So I can't. I have to go with Final Fantasy VI though. There's no chance. I put Tales of Destiny in there. I made it happen. It just so happened to be matched up with my all-time favorite Final Fantasy as well. No one knows Tales of Destiny. Everyone knows that there's like 8,000 Tales games out there.
Tales of whatever loses.
Exactly.
Right. I didn't know that Tales of Destiny.
It was
until Nathan made a video about it. Nathan made a really good video like a while ago about it, and I was like, "Oh, that looks kind of interesting." But then it falls into that mass of JRPGs that I just don't know anything about, and I can't put the effort in to learn about them. So I went with the Final Fantasy just because, and I haven't played 6, so I just went with the Final Fantasy because I think people will vote for that. So
all right,
just remember this was American 3, 6 and 6. Real 6, Final Fantasy 6 is American Final Fantasy 3.
Ooh, I do like Final Fantasy American 3. I didn't understand that piece of it.
Well, then I'm even stronger in my vote now because I like 3 too.
Yeah, 3 was probably one of my favorites.
That beautiful opera scene.
Yeah, that's really good.
Just so good.
Yeah,
so
the opera scene's good. Yeah.
So Therek may not have had much of an opinion on the last one, but I guarantee he's going to have an opinion on this one because we have Dragon Quest IV versus Secret of Mana.
So I always thought of the Dragon Quest games as sort of like the counterpoint to the Final Fantasy games. You had like the Final Fantasy people, and then you had the Dragon Quest people. I was a Dragon Quest person. I love the Dragon Quest games. And they do the same thing we were just saying, like the numbers are all messed up between here and Japan, and like, you know, 5 was 2 here and 8 was 3 and all this weird stuff. But like Dragon Quest 4 was a very, very good game, and it's the same thing. I played every single one up to about 4 or 5, and I love them. I love that they've always felt more of like an RPG than a drama to me. Like it was a little more about the adventure, about like, you know, going out, progressing, killing stuff, getting better geared, all that kind of stuff, that instead of the storytelling. So that's why I like it. But I don't think it's actually going to win this bracket, to be honest with you. So this is a case where my personal feeling is different from what I think is going to win, because Secret of Mana is crazy popular. I remember when it came out on the NES, it was like all over Nintendo Power at the time. It was like everybody wanted to play Secret of Mana, and I didn't like it as much, but I think it's gonna win. What do you think, Bob?
Oh, that's
I'm curious.
crazy. I was like, I have never heard of this game, Dymlos. Why is it number 6? And he's like, put it 6, do it.
It needed to be a lot higher, honestly, but there were so many good games. Like the 5 before it are just really good too. Secret of Mana is, I mean, it's still, they just re-released it, like, and they just are putting a new game out. Like the series is still alive, unlike Dragon Quest. So I still own Dragon Quest 1 and 3 on the NES. Like it was near and dear to my heart as well. But Secret of Mana, that game, that storyline, so good, so good. So my vote goes with Secret of Mana too.
I can't believe you just did that. Can't believe it. Shocking. Draq is shocked.
But I'm not shocked. I knew it was gonna get some love. I love it.
But
and,
still picking a lot of chalk, a lot of favorites, almost all favorites. All right, we're not gonna.
There's a reason they're the higher seed, right?
Yeah.
I'm disappointed that's the only Dragon Quest game, because I think there are better. Like I voted for Dragon Quest 9 to be in this. No, 11, the most recent one, was unbelievably good. It's on the Switch and it just came out not that long ago, but it didn't make the cut. So,
all
right.
Well, I mean, so the difference being is there are so many more 2001 to present games. Like we had so much. That was the hardest one by far.
The 2001.
We had 22, 25 games somewhere in between there to whittle down to 16. It was unbelievably hard to do. So sorry to everybody for the 2001 to present. It was
I know. Yeah, Stans and the Fire's been rallying for a few of them. Arcanum being one, Planescape Torment being another one. This is where his soul is gonna get hurt, because there's a lot of games that didn't make the cut.
The Torment one, I think Dymlos had on the list. It just didn't make the cut.
Reloika has joined a static
sorry,
got
it's hard. This was hard. This was a very hard thing to do.
Roika, thanks for the sub. Appreciate that. All right, so let's go jump back up to the top of the bracket. We'll finish this one out. Final Fantasy 7 versus Final Fantasy 5.
Gotta be 7 here, right, Dymlos? Gotta be 7.
Without a doubt. Like you said, when we first started this thing, this was what really was the turn for console RPGs for a lot of people. Maybe not everybody stands, but for a lot of people, this game changed, opened up. It really kind of honestly opened up RPGs to America. Because remember, throughout Nintendo and Super Nintendo, the Japanese thought we were too dumb to get RPGs. That's why we never got them, because they thought we were dumb.
That was so insulting. It's so stupid.
Yeah, it's very insulting. That's fine. You know, they can think that way. But this was the game that really brought the Japanese RPG, anime at the time, that whole culture came to America right around this game. So it's no question. Final Fantasy 7 over 5.
So,
and I love 5.
The Japanese may think we're stupid, but Stans in the Fire thinks we're also stupid for adding all these JRPGs in here.
I'm with him. I'm with
100% on me. Sorry, bud.
All right.
It's okay.
Moving back down, Legends of Zelda versus Baldur's Gate. You want to talk about two iconic games like button heads with each other? This would be a tough one for me to vote on.
Yeah, a couple behemoths here, but like I said earlier, Legend of Zelda started a crazy franchise. It's got to be Legend of Zelda. It's like I said, if it was a different Baldur's Gate, maybe, but number one, I don't think stands up against the original Zelda. So I'm going to go with Legend of Zelda.
Couldn't agree more. Number one.
Wow.
If it can't be Lunar, it better be Zelda.
Now the next one is even now. Now we're getting to somewhere, right?
Final
So-
Fantasy. Oh no, I'm sorry. Ocarina of Time
No, you're
versus Diablo 2.
Okay.
Yep. Ocarina of Time versus
This is
Diablo
another
2.
Zelda for me all the way. This is my favorite Zelda. So sorry, Diablo. You're great and
If
all,
I-
but
If it was a personal pick, I'd pick Diablo 2, but I'm picking to win, so it's Zelda Ocarina of Time.
So
Yep.
I would have picked Diablo 2.
Yeah, like you said, I
look,
saw some
Therek,
people's
you could have had the upset.
brackets. I know, but I don't know. Maybe I overplayed the Ocarina popularity. Maybe Diablo 2, because like they're both very popular. They're very different crowds, right? One's a console only, and one is PC only. So you're going to get into these situations where you're dealing with different sort of demographics, different stages
As a
of life.
console gamer, I know I'm in the minority here on an MMO channel, right? Like, totally get it. We need
Joe on
representation
YouTube.
too.
Have Dymlos and Therek disagreed on any pick yet? Not really. No, they're kind of pretty agreeable. This is a crappy debate show where everybody.
Eventually, we're going to
disagrees.
get to hard games. Like, we're going to get to some harder. I mean, this is a hard choice too. Zelda and Diablo. This is a
Yeah.
hard choice.
It's a hard choice,
But
for
I
sure.
do think the Zelda. I mean, this is my favorite Zelda game, so I have to pick
Mhm.
it. You know, it's just sorry, Diablo. You were great, and you may win this whole thing. You and Zelda Ocarina of Time have a chance to win this whole thing. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
I don't whistle any songs from Diablo 2 25 years later. I mean, that's a good point.
Exactly right.
That's a good point. Good point, Tech Ninja.
Da, 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 da.
All
Oh my
right,
god, I can listen to that.
Good.
moving on.
Okay, from now on, Dymlos has to sing the theme song for every winner of every
song,
bracket.
yes.
Yes.
I'm in.
I don't think I could do it. I don't know them all.
Final Fantasy VI
God.
versus Secret of Mana. I know which one I'm voting for.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's my favorite Final Fantasy, so the vote for me is
Okay.
Final Fantasy VI.
Okay, so here we're disagreeing. So, I think the community is going to choose Secret of Mana. That was my selection based on popularity. Like I said earlier, I just think that was immensely popular. So Desmond, I think in chatting earlier, was saying no love for Secret of Mana. I'm giving it love, Des. I'm giving it love because I think that it is quite well loved.
All right. Well, I'm
Hi, Draq.
gonna
Take the tie, buddy. This is your moment to shine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Go, Draq,
I'm gonna
go.
break up all this chalk picking. I'm gonna pick the underdog here. We're gonna go with Secret of Mana.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
because
Not a wrong choice.
I think that we need to shake it up a bit. We got way too many favorites picked here. So let's go with Secret of Mana, put them in. I'm not really that educated on either of these, so it's probably horrible of me to be the tiebreaker, but it is what it is. All right, back to the top. Final Fantasy VII versus Legend of Zelda. Good luck with that one,
Seven.
boys.
And 7's going to stomp, I think. I'm sticking with my 7 pick.
Taking number one all the way with the bullet.
Yeah, I got to take number 1 seed. What
Yeah,
about you, Diamonds?
yeah. Seven is also my pick for that one too. It's just, again, for everything we've already said 1,000 times over.
It's tough
It's
to
that
see. It's tough to see the OG Zelda go down, but
Everyone remembers the Buster Sword. Everyone remembers Tifa's boobs. You know, it's all three.
oh, I mean, you could make the argument on Zelda too. I mean, it's dangerous to go alone, right? All these isms of Zelda that started in the first game, but yeah, Final Fantasy 7 is a monster. It's a beast.
A monster.
Without a doubt. Without a
A
doubt.
monster. All right. So now we have Ocarina of Time versus Secret of Mana.
Almost, what do you got?
I mean, so I'll reveal my pick for this one. Like, I had this one winning the whole bracket. So for me, it's Ocarina of Time. This again, favorite Zelda. It's got to be the winner.
Yeah. This is where Secret of Mana finally meets its match, and gets taken down by Ocarina of Time. I don't think it can stand up to the popularity of that.
All right. For the old bracket, for all the marbles, all the cookies, Final Fantasy or Ocarina of Time?
Whew. Number 1 seed continues to do what number 1 seeds do. Takes the competition, I think.
Oh, you guys are going to make me choose.
I am going to make you choose because I absolutely am picking Ocarina of Time here. It's taken this whole bracket, in my opinion.
Really? Wow. Okay. Oh boy, come on, Draq. 2-0 now. 2-0. Make the right decision twice.
Sorry, Therek. I'm gonna have to choose
Chad
Ocarina
split
of
too.
Time.
No.
It's just
Yeah, Chad. Yes. Okay. Well, again, if you sing the song, you can sway me, but
with the
I'm amazed.
with the slight upset. Ocarina of Time takes it with the nudge. 7 wasn't my favorite Final Fantasy, so it was good,
I
but
can respect that.
not my favorite.
No, I
Legend
respect that.
Ocarina
Good
of Time's
bracket.
just classic, just unbeatable classic. All right,
This was a hell of a bracket. Like,
dude,
this was such a hard one. Like
Totally.
the two on the other side are not nearly as difficult to get through, but
the
this one,
sci-fi. We were like,
fantasy.
are there any
Well,
other sci-fi RPGs anywhere?
Yeah, wait till we get there. We're gonna be like, yeah, I don't know, whatever.
Fallout? What? I don't know.
Oh, wait. Hold on now. Don't go too far, Dymlos. I got things to say about Fallout. So.
All right, moving on. Baldur's Gate 3 versus Dymlos' favorite game of all time, Neverwinter Nights.
Oh man, Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be a strong contender again. Number 1 seed in this bracket. Got to go Baldur's Gate 3. Been playing a hell of a lot of it. I've already put in over 150 hours or so playing this stupid game. I love it. So easy choice for me on this one.
Neverwinter Nights is a flaming bag of dog shit.
Listen,
Okay.
listen. So there's
Didn't know that's where you're going with
there's a
that.
little backstory with this game. So back in the day, after EverQuest, right? After we were kind of out of EverQuest, and we weren't quite into the next thing yet, and so I was like, oh, Neverwinter Nights, it's co-op, we can all play it. But it was
I can't wait.
it was the worst co-op ever. Like, you'd get kicked out of a game at random points, and like you couldn't reconnect. Save games went like corrupt all the time. Like I think we played the opening sequence of that game like 25 times trying to make it work. And so Timeless has hated it ever since.
Yeah,
Hated it.
yeah. I don't hate
even
it.
bought it on the Switch. They put it out on the Switch just for funsies, just to, because I remember, oh yeah, Neverwinter Nights. This is a D&D game. I do remember playing it. Let's give it. Nope. Flaming bag of dog shit.
Yeah. No, I don't hate it. It wasn't great. Neverwinter Nights 2 did everything better. Neverwinter Nights 2 is the one that should be in this bracket because we put up more of a fight. But Neverwinter Nights, the first one,
Baldur's Gate 3.
No, it would probably still go down, but
probably still going down.
I don't hate it. It just wasn't really well done, I don't think.
All right,
Poorly executed.
BG3 stomps and moves on.
Yeah.
How about one of my favorite games of all time? Two of my favorite games of all time that we matched up against each other on purpose because we wanted to see which one was going to win. Dragon Age Inquisition versus Dragon Age Origins. Oh, this is just like stab me.
Okay. let me gather my thoughts, Dymlos. You start. You go.
So, obviously, like I said, I was the console gamer, so I don't have as much experience as these two other fine gentlemen in this game. But for me, Origins was the better story, at least the little bit that I played of it. So that gets my vote, is Origins.
Okay, so this was a tough one because I know what my personal favorite is. It's definitely Origins, but I thought a lot of people are going to really lean towards Inquisition because it's more recent. It's just there's just been more mass appeal to it, I think. But it's definitely the worst game. I'm putting my faith in the community here to pick Origins because it is by far the better game, and it is one of my favorite RPGs of all time. Like you said, Draq, I love this game. I played every one of the Origins characters, like one of the stories. I've beaten it multiple times. It's such a good game. And I know Redbeard Flynn streams it once in a while, and I love watching him stream it. It's fun. It's well made. The Inquisition was so rife with technical issues. They tried to make it in like this engine that was made for Call of Duty. It wasn't working. It's a technical nightmare. It's more cinematic. The higher production values are apparent, and it's pretty but it just plays poorly. It's really a bad game in my opinion, but I still respect it because I like the series. So Dragon Age Origins is for sure.
That's what I would have chosen as well. Origins over Inquisition.
Good.
Yep. We are unified. All right. So Elder Scrolls Skyrim. We're into the Elder Scrolls game now. A lot of people love those. Skyrim being the big dog versus Path of Exile. A solid game.
Very solid game, and I feel bad for Desert here because I think that his favorite game is. I know he loves Path of Exile. He's a big Path of Exile guy. However, Elder Scrolls Skyrim is arguably one of the most popular RPGs of recent memory. Everything gets compared to Skyrim these days. Everything's like, oh, is it like Skyrim or is it not like Skyrim? Everybody knows what it is, and I loved it. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Skyrim. I've played it a ton, and it's definitely my pick, and I think the community is going to pick it too.
So, like I was saying, this was really hard to put together. And you can see that Elder Scrolls Skyrim, being such a huge game, was number 4 on the. This is so hard. This is so unbelievably difficult. But Path of Exile. I'm sorry, bud, but you don't even hold a candle to Skyrim like that. That was a game that, as Final Fantasy VII kind of changed it all for the PS1. Skyrim kind of changed it all for the PS. It was 3, right? Like I'm not. Maybe it was 4. I can't remember now.
I got it on PC, but yeah, I mean,
yeah. So this revolution, this was like the next step. So Final Fantasy took that step. Skyrim was the one that took the next step. So at least to me, in my opinion. So yeah, Skyrim has to win here. There's no question.
Yeah, I remember playing it and telling my wife like what the experience was like, and I'm like, it's the first time I've ever played a game where I can see a mountain that's like so far off in the distance, and I can actually go to the top of that mountain. Like it changed everything. It was yeah, great experience.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of hours. If I hadn't put that much time into Pokemon games, I would have put that much time into Skyrim games. Or Elder Scroll games, sorry.
Yeah. Fair.
All right, moving on. One of the lower ranked but newer Final Fantasies, so Final Fantasy X versus one of my personal favorite games, which is Dark Souls. I played so much Dark Souls.
We tried to play it together, Draq. Remember that?
I do. You had that.
Oh, we tried so hard.
That system where you clicked on the people's feet or whatever, and then you joined their games.
Hopefully, you got joined in with the person you were hoping for. It was impossible.
It was
impossible. We never got to play together. It was so sad.
Now, were you guys playing on console? Obviously on console, right?
No, we were on PC.
Oh yeah, no. Are you sure?
Yeah, we were on PC.
Because
I mean, you didn't own a console ever, so
I never
guess
owned a
it had
console.
to be PC.
Yeah, no.
Okay, fair enough. Because the Dark Souls on PC was, I tried. It didn't work for me. Like it was just really janky. I don't think it got a good translation. I don't think it got a good port from the consoles over to PC. So it gets my vote here because I don't know Final Fantasy X at all. So it's the only reason it gets my vote. Yeah, I've never been a big Dark Souls series fan, to be honest with you.
I can't say that I've played a huge amount of Dark Souls, but I certainly have played a ton of Final Fantasy. And Final Fantasy X made it on this list kind of in the same. I feel like 7, 8, and 9 are kind of all in this bracket together, and so 7 being the representative of that, and so Final Fantasy X needed to have its own. It kind of the ones beyond 10 are not so great until obviously 11 was the MMO, 12 no one really liked. 12 a lot of people liked. It was 13 that people didn't like, sorry. But this had to get some representation. This is kind of the next generation of Final Fantasy, but Dark Souls made something so amazingly new and now is its own genre, right?
Yeah,
it's a Souls game genre, right?
Yeah, so
right. There's no question Dark Souls wins this particular bracket. Sorry, Final Fantasy X, I love you, but you didn't your predecessors made your genre. It wasn't that you made a new system. So Dark Souls it is.
Did you guys agree?
Yeah, we agreed. I'm surprised. I didn't think we were going to agree. I thought Dymlos was going with his Final Fantasy streak, but no, I respect that. I think your reasoning is sound. I agree with you.
All right. So moving forward, we have Breath of the Wild versus Dragon Quest 11.
Yeah, I was wrong earlier. I said Dragon Quest 11, but it is unfortunately it's matched up against Breath of the Wild.
You're welcome, Therek.
No,
you wanted it in, we put it in, and then I put it on with Breath of the Wild.
Oh no, this is the worst case scenario. It's the worst case scenario.
So Dymlos and I filled out this whole bracket, and we put all the teams in there, and then we sent it to Therek, and we're like, "Are there any games that we're absolutely missing?" He's like, "You have to put in Dragon Quest 11. It's iconic. It must be in there."
But then you put it up against Breath of the Wild,
we stuck it against Breath of the Wild.
which is ridiculous. And I have to take Breath of the Wild. I've never in recent memory been playing a game that has made me say so many times, this is a phenomenal experience. Like this is something beyond what this is more than a game. This is an experience. And Breath of the Wild did that. It changed everything in the Zelda. For me, it changed everything in the Zelda universe, and just in terms of, it was the reason I bought a Switch. I only wanted it to play Breath of the Wild, right? So I
Yeah, the
mean,
only
it was
one.
on the Wii
Did
U.
you buy the
but
special Breath of the Wild Switch?
No. I do have a case, like a special carrying case for my Switch, which is leather with the Breath of the Wild stuff on it. But I don't have the special Switch edition. But I love Breath of the Wild, and it's gonna go far in this bracket for sure.
Definitely. So this, to me, is the true spiritual successor to Zelda 1. This was the second of the Zeldas that was open world, with 1 being the original open world Zelda game. And so, hands down, there's no Dragon Quest 11. I've not played you, and I'm sorry for not playing you yet. You're on the
You gotta
list
play
of
it,
the
man. You're gonna
1,000
love it.
games that are there.
Do it. You're gonna love it.
Eventually, we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. It's just not anytime soon, because I'm going to be playing Breath of the Wild still.
Too much Pokemon. Too much Pokemon.
No, there's that. There is also that.
All right. I
But
think,
yeah,
is
Breath of
this
the
the
Wild, no
last
question.
Final Fantasy we got on the list? 16 versus Fable?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dymlos.
Oh, this is a tough one. So my pick that I'm going to go with is what I think the people are going to pick, but I absolutely want to do Final Fantasy 16 here, but that's not my vote. Fable is getting my vote.
What?
Oh, I know.
What?
I know.
Oh my god.
This is in my top 3 favorite Final Fantasies of all time. It might even be
Over.
number 2. And Jill is my favorite female main character of all the Final Fantasies. Sorry, Tifa, you're out. Jill is number 1. I love her to death.
Wow.
And
Oh
I'm
my
still picking
god.
Fable, because Fable started a whole thing where your decisions that you made affect the end game, right?
Yeah.
That is such a cool RPG thing that Final Fantasy 16 is on rails, right? We all know, like, the end of it's Game of Thrones in Final Fantasy world, right? Like, we know how it's going to end, sort of. But Fable, we never know how it's going to end, because we make those decisions along the way. That is such a cool concept. And it also
Wow.
came out around the same time, like those really awesome BioWare games came out, right? Like one that's coming up, KOTOR, love it. Jade Empire, which didn't make the cut, unfortunately. Sorry, all you Jade Empire fans. I really tried to get it on there, but it didn't make it.
It's a good game.
Yeah, but yeah, Fable.
I'm surprised.
So good.
I'm blown away.
So good.
Yeah, I'm blown away that you made that choice. I picked Final Fantasy 16 only because I thought it would be more popular. I mean, Fable was revolutionary. All those things you said are true, Dymlos, 100%. And it is the more important game in the gaming history, I think. But I didn't think it was as popular as maybe you're suggesting. It seems like I'm wrong, though, because Chad is talking about it. Matt in Gaming, Fable's so groundbreaking. Des says, yeah, same thing. I didn't know Fable was so well regarded.
Loved. People want remakes of Fable all the time. They want new Fable, remakes of Fable. You know, we always get Final Fantasies. This is kind of its own special game.
Yeah, interesting stuff. But Draq, you gotta split the
disagreement. So I've
Final
never
Fantasy 16 or Fable.
I've never played Final Fantasy 16, but I seriously disliked Fable. I did not like it. It was not good for me. I just did not like the gameplay at all. So I'm voting Final Fantasy 16. It's not a vote for Final Fantasy 16. It's a vote against Fable, because I did not like it.
Oh, the haters are going to hate, and they are here.
I am the Fable hater. It's a true story. All right. I think I know which one Therek's going to pick on this one. We have Elden Ring versus Torchlight 2.
It's not even close. Not even close. Elden Ring is a ridiculously one of the best in my top 5 RPGs of all time for me personally. It's sort of everything you want in an RPG in some ways. I can't. Torchlight 2, and I'm not not to disparage Torchlight 2, but if that's one of your favorite games of all time, I don't know what to tell you. Torchlight was like a kindergarten version of Diablo, in my opinion. It was not it was not my cup of tea.
Ouch.
But Elden Ring they're like on the completely different ends of the spectrum here. So yeah, Elden Ring, 100%.
I mean, there's no question on this one. Like, this is George R.R. Martin, right? Like,
yeah.
one of the greatest. He will go down in history as one of the greatest storytellers of all time, right?
Yeah.
He had his hand in this game. The gameplay was great. Way too hard for me. I'm not good at games like this. So, like, I'm story mode guy, right? Like, I just can't. That's not what I'll do. So, but I can respect what it did and what it is, and the fact that we had to put it number 3, right? Like that goes to show how hard this was. And it's such an unbelievably good game. Sorry, Torchlight 2. Sorry, all you Torchlight fans out there. Your game is great too. Don't get me wrong. But it ain't no Elden Ring. Get out.
It's not even in the same conversation. You
No.
can't even breathe it in the same breath.
Joe on YouTube
Crazy.
says, to be the greatest storyteller of all time, you have to be able to finish the story.
Ooh, that is certainly not the case, but I'll give it to you because
He's ragging on Germ. That's
Yeah,
fine.
no, I know.
Germ
I know.
haters. That's fine. That's fine. He
It's
will die
happening.
before he finishes these books. There's no question. He's old and fat and eats terrible and never exercises and doesn't write either. He still uses a typewriter. But
Yeah.
it's so good. It's so good.
all that is true.
Sorry.
All right. Monster Hunter Worlds versus Elder Scrolls Oblivion. The Elder Scrolls Oblivion could have been higher than this, but it moved around quite a bit, but landed at 6 for us. What do you think, Therek?
Well, I'm going to vote for Elder Scrolls for Oblivion for a couple of reasons. One is that it was a good game. It's a much different game than Monster Hunter Worlds, and Monster Hunter, the whole franchise, has never been something that's really resonated with me at all. I know a lot of people love it, but no, Oblivion is awesome, and I also vote for it because it's Sparrow's favorite game of all time. We were talking about this on Sunday last week, and we were saying, "What's your favorite single player RPG?" And she said Oblivion, so I got to give it its due. So. And it was the one thing I don't like about Oblivion was that it was well known for having technical problems. I honestly couldn't get it to run for a long time. I had to wait until like the Ultimate Edition to come out to actually play it.
It was a beast on your machine. Like it would chug.
Yeah. Yep. It
And
does.
for this
Skyrim
very
is just a
reason,
win.
I don't think it's going to win. I think it's going to get upset by Monster Hunters. There are enough Monster Hunter fans out there that I think that they pick this game over Elder Scrolls because Elder Scrolls already has representation with Skyrim, right? Like they'll go through their list. If they don't like Elder Scrolls for whatever reason, they'll put Skyrim going through, but then they'll be like, Oblivion and Monster Hunter, right? So if I had a gut feeling of who I think is going to be an upset, I think it's going to be this one.
That would be crazy. I could see it though. I could see it. Definitely a possibility.
I think the haters are going to hate on this one, and so Monster Hunter gets through.
Sorry, Dymlos.
What do you think?
No way.
Oh, Draq, you chose correct. You have chosen correctly.
Oblivion is. I think
game.
Oblivion could have been 2 spots higher. Honestly, I think. Yeah, it could have been. I think I'd put it above. What's 4?
Skyrim. You can't put it above Skyrim.
Oh,
that was the best one.
I kind of can. I like Oblivion better than
I
Skyrim.
kind of can.
No, what? Are you crazy? Skyrim is way better than Oblivion. I mean, oh my gosh, they don't match up here, fortunately. But it was,
all right.
yeah.
Well, we are an hour into this. I don't know if you noticed that.
I've noticed. So
we gotta pick up the pace just a little bit here.
I think the other side of the bracket is going to go a lot faster,
right?
Just because,
right. And as we get closer, there's less games. So I think we're doing okay, but just keep it in mind. Baldur's Gate 3 versus Dragon Age Origins. I know which one I would vote for, and I'm almost 100% sure neither of you are going to vote for it. So.
Nope.
Yeah, it's got to be Baldur's Gate 3, my man. You know it. Yep, Dymlos has got it. He's right. Sorry, Draq.
Oh, Dragon Age, I love you so much. All right, Skyrim versus Dark Souls. I know which one I would also vote for here, and I don't think either one of you are going to vote for it either.
Nope.
Team Therek and Dymlos. Skyrim.
Yep. Here we go.
Skyrim. Yep. Here we go.
Look.
Awesome.
All right.
Now we're talking tough though. Now it's gonna get tough.
Now we're just cruising through stuff. Breath of the Wild versus 16, Final Fantasy 16.
Got to be Breath of the Wild, right?
Without a doubt. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still pretty iconic. Okay. That leaves us with the Elden Ring and the Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
Elden versus Elder.
Same. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
That's just
Elden
there's no
Ring?
way.
There's lots of chalk going
gotta
on
be Elden
here.
Ring.
Lots of high.
I mean, we are
Same.
literally 1 through 4 now in the final 4 of this particular bracket. We are 1 through 4.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Yep.
All right. So Baldur's Gate versus Skyrim. That's
Kill
brutal.
me. Make me choose between two of my favorite children.
BG3
please.
versus Skyrim.
Do I take the older one, the teenager in Skyrim, or the newborn in Baldur's Gate 3? I gotta go with my newborn. I gotta go with the younger child. Gets the love.
100%.
Baldur's Gate 3.
100%.
Yep. Both excellent games, but
They're both about the same for me. I don't know
really,
who I would have picked there.
if we weren't pressed for time, I would explain to you what a role-playing game should be about. There should be some playing of a role. I don't know if I was playing many roles in Skyrim. So I mean, but
good thing we're not pressed for time, and you explained it to me.
let me RPG explain something to you if you don't mind.
All right, Breath of the Wild versus Elden Ring.
Oh, another tough
This
one.
is
This one took me a while to think about.
Therek, you're the one that's going to have more of a battle here, so please.
Yeah. So I went back and forth. I mean, like I said, Breath of the Wild is a transformative experience. It was beautiful. It was amazing. I loved it. But like Elden Ring, man, if you're gonna make me choose, I got to choose Elden Ring. Just the art style, for if nothing else, the graphics, the seriousness, the lore is so deep. I mean, Zelda's awesome, but it is a Zelda game. It's not the deepest of deep lore, whereas Elden Ring probably has the deepest lore I've ever seen in any game ever. So I got to go Elden Ring.
Draq, it looks like you get to pick again because I am picking Breath of the Wild.
Draq. This is a big decision, Draq.
I'm going with Elden Ring.
Yes.
Breath of
2-1 on Derek's or on our Therek and I's split.
Yeah.
So you're up, Therek. Good
Breath
job.
of the Wild wasn't necessarily
Yes.
my complete jam, so yeah, I think Elden Ring was pivotal. So that's
I don't know what the community is
That's
going
too
to pick. I mean, this is my personal pick, but I don't know what the community could go either way on this one. For sure.
I've got Breath of the Wild winning this whole bracket. So
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Well, that is the next. Isn't that the next?
nope, we got to
next
pick
matchup?
the winner. So now it's
Oh no, did we do?
BG3
I'm sorry. You're
versus,
right. No, I'm sorry.
Elden
I
Ring.
crowned the champion already. Elden Ring versus Baldur's Gate 3.
you're gonna crown them, crown their ass.
Yeah. Oh, I love that you got that in there. Yes, Baldur's Gate 3, crown their asses. Right. Give me that
That's
Denny
the
Green
choice.
reference all day. I will take
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Baldur's
If
Gate.
I can't get Breath of the Wild in there, then for sure Baldur's Gate 3 is going to beat out Elden Ring. Sorry.
It's got to.
That game was too good. There was so much of it. Oh, plus it's D&D.
It's crazy.
It's the best.
It's a generational game. Generational game.
Without a doubt.
All right, on to science fiction, where we had significantly
Yeah.
harder time coming up with games. All right, so
I
starting
don't know
off,
if we still had more than 16 to choose from. It just was
there
about
weren't there
17.
weren't a lot of extras. Somebody picked Starfield to win. I saw that in one of the brackets.
That was
What?
the
Not
Mr.
like-
C's douchebag bracket.
Did we let like Bethesda people in here to wait?
There's a Bethesda dev voting.
Yeah, is there a Bethesda dev in here somewhere?
Mr. C secretly works for Bethesda. All
Well,
right.
Eve's an MMO though, Tech Ninja. That's not gonna. We're not. No MMOs are allowed.
Yeah, single player RPGs. So, Chrono Trigger versus Starfield.
Dymlos.
This is the might be the number one console RPG of all time, Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
There's no way that Starfield is even going to come close to this. Chrono Trigger has a chance to win this whole thing outright, and so without a doubt, Chrono Trigger, one of the best stories ever told.
Yeah. I don't know about winning it outright, but it's definitely better than Starfield. Starfield was a huge disappointment for me, and I think the community is going to reflect that.
Kind of a hot mess.
Yeah.
All right. Fallout 2 versus Xenoblade Chronicles. I think there might be a little disagreement here, maybe.
Yeah, well, I think this is where a console versus PC is going to come into play because Fallout 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. It's the best Fallout game in my opinion, which I'll be foreshadowing a little bit here, but um, I love Fallout 2, and it just you're talking Dymlos about Fable and choices mattering and how things played out. It was Fallout 2 and Fallout New Vegas were some of the best games for that. So, and I think the community is going to agree. I picked Fallout 2 here.
Yeah. Clearly, you've not played Xenoblades because
I have not played it. To be honest with you, I haven't played Xenoblades, but
yeah, the gameplay is unbelievably good. Like this is another one of those PlayStation bangers that had to be on the list. Like this is a game of why I was brought in, right? So it needed its representation. This is a great series. The gameplay is wonderful. The story may be a little lacking. So if Fallout 2 had a lot of really great story, then so be it. But I absolutely am choosing Xenoblade here.
Sorry, Dymlos.
It's on my Switch my Nintendo wish list. I'll give it that. But
you got nuked. You got nuked by PC Master Race guy because Fallout 2 is.
Wow, way to put it, Draq. What a great way to say that. He definitely got the nuked treatment.
Yeah. Also, I just want to remind everyone, if you think that you can do this better than we can, which you probably can, make sure you hit the Discord and fill out a bracket. There are prizes. So first place gets a shirt, second place gets a mug, third place gets a Therek's Rainbow magnet. There are many people shooting for that third place finish just so they can get the magnet. Which, by the way, you can just get on the store as well if you want to just go over to the P Plus store and get it. Okay, next, Fallout 3 versus Wasteland.
Yeah.
Easy.
Oh, yeah? Okay, what do you got?
Well, Fallout 3 without a question. I mean, the franchise is good. There's no question. Yeah. Just to me, it doesn't beat out Xenoblade, but, it is what it is. So Fallout 3 for sure.
Yeah, Fallout 3 gets a lot of flack for being the first of the new style of Fallout games in the first person rather than isometric, but it was a great game. I loved it. I played the hell out of it, and I had a lot of good moments. I remember, so many of the story moments with, Liam Neeson playing the dad, and it was just a good game. Wasteland is good too. It wasn't in my wheelhouse as much. I only played a little bit of Wasteland. I've played more of the more recent Wasteland game that was released not that long ago, but Fallout 3 is definitely my pick here too.
No disagreement there.
Good choice.
Two games I have not played and had no real interest of ever playing: Horizon Zero Dawn and Deus Ex.
Well, I played Horizon Zero Dawn recently. It didn't really impress me all that much. I thought it was pretty linear, it just didn't do anything interesting for me. I know a lot of people like it. Deus Ex, however, is definitely this is old versus new because Deus Ex is quite an old game, and but it was at the time really, really
great point,
really well received and very much like a new iteration on the genre. So people loved it. I'm going with Deus Ex.
Same. Couldn't. Yep, that's definitely the pick. Deus Ex is. The hype that was around that game when it came out, I was like, oh, this is going to fail. This is going to fail hard. And it didn't. Yeah. Everyone loves it. Everyone loves it. So it definitely is moving on.
Yeah. It spawned a franchise too. So, I mean, it kind of has done its thing.
Oh, this is my favorite game on this list. So what was it? What was the year, Dymlos? 2004?
I'd have to look it up, but yeah.
I don't know when it was. It was a long time ago. And
in a galaxy far, far away.
In a galaxy far, far away. Draq invites Dymlos out to stay with him for the weekend. Dymlos flies out, and we go to the Blockbuster. And we're looking through the games, and we're we're gonna rent a game for the weekend. And so what do we rent? We went Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. We started playing. I
also want to interject here that we had a whole list of things we were going to do.
We did have
this weekend list planned out. And then we rent this game, Kotar.
Everything else.
And the whole weekend is gone.
We're 2 hours in. We're 2 hours into this thing. And I'm like,
I got to see the end of this game.
We're not. Yeah, and we have to take it back on Monday. So, we're like, I'm like, dude, we're beating this game because I can't stop. Like, and so we take turns. We literally like hand the controller off. We literally stayed up all night. Like one of us slept for like 3 hours while the other one played, and then we'd pass the controller, and then the other one would sleep and go for 3 hours, and then we'd pass it back. That's how we didn't end up beating it.
No, we did not.
Because
I did end up buying it.
And then and then we each purchased it and then beat it after that. So all that to say, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, one of my favorite, versus Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, also a very good game, but probably not going to win.
You know what, Draq? Had a lot of great stuff going for it, right? Like it had new stuff with it, new powers, it was cool. There's no chance.
I felt that number one. There was more characters.
Oh no,
it was good.
I have very little to say. Honestly, I am not a Star Wars guy. I barely play these games. I'm going to defer my pick to whatever Draq wants here.
Oh, we're going
KOTOR one. It is. Therek, if you've not played this game in its entirety,
oh my goodness,
whatever you're doing right now, stop and play this game.
Okay, I'll play KOTOR. You go play Dragon Quest 11. All right.
Deal. Right. If you pick it, yeah, I will absolutely play it without a doubt. Okay. But this might be the greatest story ever told. Wow, I'm not joking to you.
Saying a lot. I am saying a lot, man.
It is saying a lot. I totally agree with you. This might be the greatest story of any RPG of all time.
I'm throwing that out there. The drop the controller. Oh my goodness! I can't believe they did that ending of all time.
Okay, you've got yourself a deal.
Don't buy it on mobile, which I did because I love this game. I bought it on mobile. It's absolute trash. I mean, the game's great, right? But the controls are.
I bought it on a console. You know? I bought it on a PC. I bought it on Steam. I bought it on oh my goodness! I bought it so many times.
All of the above.
Okay, I'll do it. I promise.
All right, moving on.
And I will absolutely play Dragon Age. I will definitely do it. Or Dragon
Quest. Dragon Quest 11.
Yeah. All right, so now Xenogears versus Cyberpunk 2077. It's sad to see Cyberpunk 2077 there because it was supposed to be the savior of sci-fi RPGs. It was supposed to be the next. It was supposed to be BG3. That's really what it was supposed to be, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah, it's a good game for what it is. It just got marred down by technical issues and things that didn't really have anything to do with the game. I think. For me, like sci-fi is not my genre, but I loved the game for what it was. If I was more of a fan of the genre, I would have gone further with it. I didn't play it through to completion. I played maybe, 15 hours or so of it, and then I just kind of got bored with it, stopped playing. But for what it is, I mean, it's a beautiful, immersive. The writing is great. There's a lot of good things about it. I haven't played Xenogears, to be honest with you, but I still think the community is going to take Cyberpunk, especially since they fixed some of the things with the last release.
You cannot pick against mech suits.
I think
that's your downfall. Mech suits are going to win out. Xenogears, beautiful. Just a beautiful game, beautifully drawn in pixel game. I definitely remember picking this one up brand new. It was worth my time and worth my money, and it was a good game. Smooth, great gameplay. And for that reason, Therek, again, because of the technical difficulties of it, I think people are going to hate on it. And I mean, this is like the now I can't even think of that crappy band that everyone shits on all the time.
What, Nickelback?
Yeah, this is like the Nickelback of video games right here.
Cyberpunk is the Nickelback.
There are people that like it, but they are few and far between.
No,
I don't know, man. I think they redeemed themselves.
I'm with Dymlos. First round upset. First round upset's got to go down. Cyberpunk, you ripped our hearts out and stomped on it, and I'm punishing you. I'm punishing you by voting against you.
Oh, that is crazy. I did not see that coming. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Xenogears.
Okay.
Yes.
Xenogears it is.
Mass Effect 2 versus Shadowrun Genesis. We had to put the Genesis in there because Stands in the Fire apparently knows that there's more than one version of Shadowrun.
This
Which makes me
hill
look
he was
bad
going
because
to
I
die
had
on.
no idea. I only knew the Genesis one. Like this was the only one I ever played. I was a Genesis kid. I didn't have a Super Nintendo, so this is the only one I knew that existed.
So is that what you're picking for this bracket then, Dymlos?
Absolutely not.
Okay. I was gonna say, if you pick this over Mass Effect 2, you're clearly playing for your own favorites and not what the community
Right.
is gonna pick. Because Mass Effect 2 is
no,
a
without a
behemoth.
doubt.
Yeah, it's gonna stomp this. But I love Mass Effect 2. I love so many things about it. I love that it was inspired by a lot of classic games like Star Control and that series, and like it's a great game on so many different fronts. And yeah, I think the community is gonna go that way too.
Yep. Clear winner. Borderlands 2 versus Mass Effect 3.
Well, here is where Mass Effect falls off for me, though, because Mass Effect 3 was not as good. The Borderlands games are interesting because they're kind of more first-person shootery to me than anything else, especially Borderlands 2. It's funny, I just picked up the Tiny Tina's Dungeon, the one that's more sort of D&D themed, recently on sale, and I have to play it. But I picked Borderlands 2 because I think it was more popular, and I think Mass Effect 3 has a bit of a stink attached to it. Maybe that's more Andromeda. I don't know, but I think that it lost something after Mass Effect 2. I don't know, what do you think?
We actually had to
100% agree
look
with you on
up
this one.
Borderlands to like see if it was an RPG because we thought, well, is it a shooter? Like, what is it? But no, in the description of the game, it does say it is an RPG. So at
Yeah.
least it considers
Yeah,
itself to be an RPG.
And I've got so little experience with both of these games, but I do know that Mass Effect 3 was kind of shat upon, honestly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I also went with Borderlands 2. I think more people will vote Borderlands 2 than Mass Effect 3, even though it's an upset. So
Look at you
there's
guys
another
doing
upset.
some upsets. Look at you go.
Yeah, gotta go with the upset.
All right. Just not in the fantasy realm. That's where none of the upsets, no upsets there. just in science fiction.
There's a reason.
All right,
Yeah, there is a
Chrono
reason.
Trigger versus Fallout 2.
Fallout 2. I'm sorry, Dymlos.
No
Fallout
way.
2.
Not a chance. There's no chance that Chrono Trigger does not beat this whoever comes out of Fallout 2 and Xenoblades, which I still don't think it's going to be Fallout 2, but Chrono Trigger will absolutely. I mean, this Chrono Trigger is a game that when huge gaming companies do like, here's your top 100 RPGs of all time, Chrono Trigger's number one. It's number one of all time.
It is. I got to give you that one, but these are such different games. I mean, oh my gosh, Draq, I'm concerned you're not going to go with me on this one, Draq.
I would love
He doesn't
to,
know
but
Chrono
I
Trigger.
can't.
I knew it.
I don't even.
I knew it.
I've never played Console Trigger, but I know how huge of a game it is. So,
Oh boy.
yeah, it's not.
All right.
Not.
Well, we'll see.
Fallout 2 was
Community.
not that good. Sorry.
Oh, what are you out of your mind? Community.
Haters.
It was okay. It wasn't great.
Oh my God.
All right, so Fallout 3 versus I think I've been saying this all wrong. How do I say this name of this game?
Deus Ex.
Deus Ex.
Yeah.
I said Deus. Deus Ex.
Yes. Fallout 3 versus Deus Ex. I picked Fallout 3. Deus Ex might be a more important game. Might be more popular. I'm not sure on this one which way the community is going to go, because I said Fallout 3 has a little bit of haters around it, but I took Fallout 3.
Yeah, Fallout without a doubt. That's it's the newer game. It's the one that is more recognizable. Even You're right, for all those things you said there. It should. I mean, there's a reason it was the 5th seed, but there's also a reason that Fallout 3 was the 4th seed. So
Yeah. And it's still better than 4, so that's all that matters.
All right, KOTOR versus Xenogears.
Well, after all the things you guys said, I mean, I got to go KOTOR, but
same. Just let that.
You can vote whatever you want. KOTOR's moving forward.
well, see, in my bracket, I felt that was Cyberpunk Advanced, so my bracket.
You may want to go back and fix that one, buddy.
You may
Yeah,
want
Do till the end of the day.
I still have time, teacher.
You still have
You
Chinese
can change that
picture
up.
errors.
Thank you, Mr. Dymlos.
Mass Effect 2 versus Borderlands 2.
Dymlos.
I went with Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, good. Okay, me too. Mass Effect 2.
I
Definitely.
think
That's at
that
least what's on my bracket
is
still.
a good choice. All right, so Chrono Trigger versus Fallout 3.
Oh, I know where Dymlos is going. So I picked Fallout. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm confused. Dymlos, you go first.
Okay, Chrono Trigger.
Okay, well, I picked Fallout 3, but I'll go Chrono Trigger. I'll go Chrono Trigger just for the sake of advancing the bracket.
Being smart.
He's
Yes. Thank you,
making
Jeff.
it making it happen.
Yes.
This to me is such a weak bracket. It's so weak.
It can be. It can be.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think number 1 and number 2 save this whole bracket because
Yeah.
these are two of the greatest games of all time. So
I did my boy Fallout 2 didn't make it far enough. He got weeded out sooner than I would have liked.
All right, so now we have KOTOR versus Mass Effect 2.
I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose Mass Effect 2 here.
you
I
are.
know it.
You are. Bye bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna get
Bye-bye.
outvoted. The Hydra, the two heads of the Hydra have taken off the one head.
I think KOTOR has the possibility of winning the whole thing. So,
Man,
If
All
you've
right.
played it, you know.
dude, if
We'll
you
come
Go
back.
play it,
now-
Derek. Please
we'll
go play
revisit.
it. I assure you.
revisit. We'll revisit.
All right, that leaves us with Chrono Trigger versus Star Wars KOTOR.
This is where it gets a little difficult. And
Yeah, what are you guys gonna pick?
I am sticking with my heart. It's KOTOR. Like I said, for me, this is probably maybe my number 2 RPG of all time, and that's saying a lot because we've played a lot, right? So yeah, KOTOR's taking this bracket
Yeah,
and may take all the way. There's a good chance if you've played it, you will likely vote for it. So it could win this whole thing.
yeah.
There?
I'm gonna go with the pragmatist and go KOTOR just for the Star Wars community. People, you can't override the Star Wars fans out there.
I'm going to
So
make
we'll
it
go
unanimous. Woo, riding that KOTOR train.
KOTOR.
All right, on to
KOTOR in
the
the final 4. Yeah.
on to the Pokemon Plus bracket.
Oh, God,
All
here we
right,
go.
Kingdom
Get outta
Hearts versus
Get out of here.
versus some name in Japanese.
He's not even gonna try it.
5.
He's not even gonna try it. Again,
Shin
fans is rolling
Megami
over right now.
Tensei 5-ish.
I have very few thoughts on this. Kingdom Hearts I know is well liked and well loved, but could go the other way too. I really don't know. I picked Kingdom Hearts here.
There's a reason it's the number 1. It is loved by so many people. It has so many remakes. It has so many 0.5s. Kingdom Hearts 1.5, Kingdom Hearts 2.5. It's unbelievable. They've sold so many different versions of this game. It couldn't be a number 1. And for that reason, it absolutely blasts Shin Megami Tensei 5. Any of the Shin Megami Tenseis, I'm sorry. Though this is the best one of the 5. It's a very Pokemon-esque game. That's why it fits in this category, right? So, but it is the number 16 for a reason. I should probably play it more. I just don't. And I don't even like Kingdom Hearts. Are you ready for this? I don't even like Kingdom Hearts, and it of course wins this. There's no doubt that the people will pick Kingdom Hearts. It's Disney.
Yeah, it's Disney, right? Yeah.
And Final
Exactly.
Fantasy. You're taking 2 huge franchises and meshing it up. I mean, this is a game that could absolutely win the whole thing outright, without a doubt.
Wow, it's
No.
crazy. Crazy.
Listen,
I don't know.
there are freaking Disney people everywhere. And they're
It's
going to
true.
come to our website and vote off Shin Megami Tensei 5 and all the other ones that we've already picked so far because they love Mickey Mouse.
Oh Lord. This is the side of gaming that I tend to ignore. I tend to pretend doesn't exist, but
Indeed.
yet it does.
All right, so this is the Nathan Napalm versus Dymlos matchup here. Paper Mario
This is a
versus
Game
Super
Geek podcast
Hot takes.
whole thing.
Paper
Yeah, hot
Mario
take.
versus Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars.
And what did you guys say on Game Geese and what was the outcome? Final.
The outcome was Super Mario RPG.
Good, because that's the right
Absolutely
choice.
fantastic. No way.
Yes.
Paper
No, it's the
Mario
right
was
choice.
fantastic.
I love Paper Mario, but Super Mario RPG was better. This was a tough
I
decision because I like both
I
these
feel
games.
like Paper Mario had the better story. It certainly had the better gameplay as far as like because it was more action based. But even as a turn based guy, I say that. But RPG had stupid characters in it. What's that stupid mushroom or not the marshmallow dude? Stupid.
Yeah,
Who's the stupid wooden king or stupid? We've never seen these characters again in the Mario genre ever again until they remade this game. There's no way. Paper Mario is way better.
Sorry, Dymlos. Paper Mario was dumb.
I know. I'm in the minority of this.
It's an RPG. That's all I need to say. RPG is in the name.
It's one step above Disney Kingdom Hearts. That's where it is for me. All right, now we get on to the good stuff. Persona 5 versus Leisure Suit Larry. I'm ready for an upset. Who's with me?
Look.
No one here. No one else here.
This is where I had to make my real hard choice because Sierra game, man. It's the only. This isn't even an RPG. I don't know why Leisure Suit Larry is on here, but I chose not to question the logic of it.
He tried to get it changed. He tried to get Leisure Suit and Larry ousted.
Can we at least put like Hero's Quest or Quest for Glory on here? Like that's an RPG at least in some vein. But I love me some Leisure Suit Larry. I really do. But it's not going to win. I mean, Persona. I don't even know the Persona series at all, but Persona's going to win just because, maybe Leisure Suit Larry is like this dark horse that I'm not seeing, but I don't know, man. It's a weird choice.
If you don't have 1 billion hours to play a game, you can't play Persona 5. Like you have to have a ridiculous amount of time. Like the amount of time that we used to put into EverQuest in 1999, that's the kind of time you have to play any of the Persona games. But the further they game along, the more money they had and the longer the game became. But Leisure Suit Larry, I can't even say the name. It's a tongue twister. Sucks. That game sucks.
What? Oh my God.
What an awful thing. Get out of here. Out of here with that. Persona 5.
I was waiting for one of you to go Leisure Suit Larry so I could push it forward.
If I wasn't in it to win it, Draq, I would have taken Leisure Suit Larry. But I'm in this to win this. So, what are you gonna do? I love Larry. He always gets screwed over, and he's getting screwed over again here. Well, what are you gonna do?
All right. Well, if you want revenge, just vote against Dymlos on the next bracket, which is Undertale versus Earthbound Mother 2.
I got nothing. I
also have nothing on this, so we're just gonna let Dymlos make the pick.
So I put this together, these two together because Undertale is kind of like the spiritual successor to the Earthbound series. But Earthbound is my favorite RPG of all time. That's the number one, with KOTOR being number 2. So there's no doubt in my mind that Earthbound wins this one. Has to.
That was my thinking too. It's just based on popularity. I know that people love Earthbound a lot, and I think it's like one of the most collectible, from a collector's standpoint games with a physical box. Undertale was great. My kids actually played Undertale, which was cool, but I got to go Earthbound on this.
If you don't know anything about the Earthbound series, if you know who the angry video game nerd is, I love him. Go this episode about Earthbound.
All right.
It is the best thing you could ever watch about Earthbound. It's so good. He does such a good job on that.
Lightning round. Okay. You guys ready?
We gotta go.
All right. We're hopping on the trail. We're doing Pokemon red, blue, green, yellow versus Oregon Trail.
I have no idea what the RBGY is. I just picked the Pokemon game. I love Oregon Trail.
Yellow.
Yeah. I went with that because it seems like it's going to be popular.
It started one of the greatest franchises of all time. So yeah, Pokemon. Yeah. There's no doubt.
You guys
are the original.
You guys are killing me. I'm trying to put
there's no Oregon Trail.
It suffers the same
I
fate
love
as
Oregon
Larry.
Trail too. I've got the board game Oregon Trail. Like, don't get me wrong. We all dysentery. It's iconic. It's an iconic game. I totally agree with you. But in every way, Pokemon beats it. In every way.
All right. Lightning round. Pokemon Black, White, or Stardew Valley?
Dymlos.
This is my favorite Pokemon game, which is why I got on there. This is my favorite of the... Because I love Arceus. Sorry. That's one of my favorites. That's probably the best Pokemon game. But Pokemon Black and White is the best of what we think of when we think of Pokemon. To me, Black and White was the best. So, of course, I'll take that.
Well, Drac, you're gonna have to decide. I went Stardew Valley because I haven't played Black and White, but I played Stardew Valley. It's not my game. It's not a game for me, but it's very, very popular. What
I'm
do you think,
voting
Drac?
against all Pokemon games, so
Yes.
That's why I didn't want to call the category Pokemon, because everyone's just gonna hate all over Pokemon. And that's fine. If you don't like Pokemon, you're an idiot, because they're great games. They don't have a lot of story, but they're a lot of fun and they're very addicting.
If it's not Pokemon Go, I don't know it.
And you wouldn't let me put Pokemon Go in the bracket, so I'm still bitter about that.
It's terrible.
All right, Pokemon Legends Arceus versus South Park: The Stick of Truth.
This was an interesting one because South Park Stick of Truth was sort of like an out of nowhere game that nobody saw as being like a legit RPG. And when it came out, it was like people are like, "Holy crap, this is actually a good game!" And it won a bunch of awards. It was very well received. And I'm not a South Park fan necessarily, so I didn't play it. But I had a buddy who was like a huge South Park guy, and he said it was great. He loved it. I voted for South Park Stick of Truth.
So, in addition to Kotar, you need to go play Pokemon Legends Arceus too, because this is Pokemon Breath of the Wild. Like, this was such a revolutionary game in the Pokemon series that it had to be on there, and it's my favorite Pokemon game for that reason.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
So am I picking again?
Yeah, I think you got to choose here. Pokemon or
there's
South
only
Park.
one thing I hate more than Pokemon, and that's South Park. So Pokemon.
Oh, what? I thought I had you on my team, Drag. You betrayed me again at the last possible minute. Yeah. Oh boy.
Right.
Okay. Well, Drac's a wild card. You never know what
You
he's gonna do.
you have
He's
no
gonna
idea
zig,
where
he's
I'm going.
zag.
So now we're down to Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, which when I was doing research for this, every single list, every top 10, 20, 100, whatever list had Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. I've never played it, but it was on Everest.
Never heard of it.
I've never heard of it.
And also
Oh my God.
Yakuza, which I've also never heard of, so we are batting 1,000 here.
Okay,
At
well,
least Yakuza I've heard of.
yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? I've heard of Yakuza. I know of Yakuza. I have not played Yakuza. I played Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines back in the day when it was, whatever. Again, not my genre or not my theme, my aesthetic. Good game though. But I'm gonna put Yakuza as the winner here because I think it's more. That's my reasoning.
Really, I picked Vampire.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think Yakuza might be having a little bit of the recency advantage too because there's just a brand new Yakuza game, I think. So, Drac, what do you think?
I'm going with the Vampire just because I like vampires.
Yeah,
Yeah, vampires.
I'm fine with that. Honestly, I'm fine with that.
Honestly, it could go either way on that one.
Yeah.
It's up in the air. All right, back to the top. Kingdom Hearts versus Mario Brothers. Go. Lightning.
Kingdom Hearts.
Mario. Screw Disney stuff.
No, Kingdom Hearts has to win this. Sorry.
Ah, darn you, Drac.
Persona 5 versus Earthbound.
Earthbound. Yeah, there you go.
All right. Pokemon Red, Blue, Green versus Stardew.
Stardew Valley for me.
I mean, we're splitting here.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want, Jack?
Oh, I
Your
don't
choice,
know. I
buddy.
don't know anything about Stardew Valley.
You don't know anything about? How can you not? It's on
Red
all
Beard
these different
he
places.
streams it a ton, or at least he used to.
I'll go with the
back.
Pokemon game just because.
Stands in the fires. Every pick we make, I think, angers him more. He's a big fan of Stardew Valley.
Which leaves us with Pokemon Arceus versus Vampire.
I'm gonna give a Pokemon a little love here, just because I feel like I've been hard on the Pokemon
It's the
franchise.
category.
Yeah, I gotta give it this would be my Pokemon pick.
Sweet. Arceus
That's
is
what
the
you're
winner.
doing too?
Oh yeah. Over Vampire, a game I've never even heard of before that we started this thing. Although I do need to go back and play it because, like Drax said, everyone said this game is unbelievably good. So I'm
did.
gonna have to go back
Everyone
and play
did say that. Kingdom Hearts versus Earthbound.
Oh, Earthbound better win.
it. I agree. Earthbound better win because
Yeah.
in my bracket, which we will see, I have them going the entire way. I have them winning this whole thing.
Okay.
Pokemon versus
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Arceus
Pokemon versus
versus Red,
Pokemon.
Blue.
All right.
Is it the RGBY versus Arceus? Is that what we're dealing with?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Arceus, just on Dymlos' recommendation because he says like Breath of the Wild. I'll go with that.
So we're going
Samesies.
red, green, yellow, blue.
Nope, Arceus.
Oh, we're going with Arceus.
Yeah, Arceus. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, this category's going exactly how I want it to go.
Earthbound versus Arceus.
Earthbound.
Yep, I've got to go with the community. He's gonna pick Earthbound, I think.
I did not know that there's this much Earthbound love.
Yeah, it's a cult, man. It's a cult game. It's a
How
lot of
could you
people
not
love
love it, Draq? You killed Ness every time with Foxes.
That was Super
That's all
Smash
he knows it
Brothers.
from is from Smash Brothers. Oh my gosh.
That's the only place I know that from. All right,
Too
give
funny.
me 1 second here. We're gonna move us over to the big bracket.
Big bracket.
Big boy. Yeah, I want to mention a comment from the chat that I think Des said is there's no Witcher games on here. How are there no Witcher games? That was one series that I mentioned before we started streaming too. Was there's no Pillars of Eternity on here? There's no Pillars of Eternity, no Witcher games. Those are two glaring omissions.
Listen.
Oh,
We
man.
can't be held responsible for what made it and didn't make it on the list. You know, honestly, I was thinking about this before we came on. Maybe we should have had some play-in games too to expand the bracket, just like they do in the basketball
Mhm.
series. But when I
Yeah.
looked up Witcher, because I'm not super well versed in any of them, it didn't say it was an RPG, so
Oh,
it went out.
Yeah,
Witcher-
we lost Witcher based on the fact that the game doesn't identify itself as an RPG game.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what
Well,
sites are you looking at? You're
On
looking
the
at, like,
official
Clearly.
website, we looked
You're
it
on the
up.
darknet or something. I don't know where you are. You're
Darknet.
Maybe I should have checked my sources, but you know,
yeah.
it is
I
what
feel
it
like-
is. Sorry, Witcher. Sorry to all you
Pokemon
Witcher
isn't an
fans, but-
RPG. Now that's the Pokemon hate's coming down. All right, moving
Right,
on. We
Jen?
don't have time for this.
Okay.
See, we're gonna have some words later. Some words.
So now we have Legend of Zelda versus Ocarina of Time versus Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Use the Force and vote correctly.
Oh no. No. I mean, I love that you guys
You're
have
gonna
that
get beat here,
experience.
bud.
I know. I got to pick Zelda here, but I have a feeling I'm going down in flames.
No. You are? Oh, you're
What?
voting for Kotar? Yes.
Hell yeah, I'm voting for KOTOR. Better than Ocarina of Time? Or who won? Who ended up winning this whole thing?
Ocarina of Time, yep.
Who- Yeah. Okay. Yeah, for sure, KOTOR.
All right.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's crazy. Didn't see that coming.
Love it. Love it. That was an excellent vote. And now we have Baldur's Gate 3 versus Earthbound.
Oh my gosh. Baldur's Gate 3 a million times.
Ugh,
I
hate
Completely
it.
different
Hate
games, but
I hate
Gotta be
saying this.
you know
I
you got
hate
to.
saying this.
Don't hate
This
don't hate the
particular
player,
bracket
hate the game.
has to be Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes.
if
Yes. Thank you. Oof.
it makes any difference, I would have voted Baldur's Gate 3 too.
Okay. I know you have some sense left in you, Draq.
All right, here we go. Star Wars KOTOR versus BG3 for all the marbles. Championship.
All the marbles.
Championship.
What a crazy final to come down to. Obviously, I'm voting Baldur's Gate 3. It's a generational game. If we're defining a role-playing game by playing a role and being able to make choices and have different outcomes, I think Baldur's Gate 3 has something like 17,000 different endings or something like that. It's unbelievable. Like, it's a marvel of modern technology, game design, and it's what I want a game to look like. It's what I think a perfect game looks like in a lot of ways. Just everything about it. The music is unbelievable. I don't see any flaws. I mean, I love that your story for KOTOR is amazing, but man, Baldur's Gate 3 all the way.
I want KOTOR to win. But
Don't do
there's
this to
no-
me.
Yes,
do it.
Dymlos,
I will push it
yes,
across
Sorry,
the
Draq.
finish line. I will.
Dymlos.
It
Don't
dies right
do
before
it.
the end.
Oh,
BG3, man.
You have earned a
BG3. And I
place.
didn't even make it
Oh.
past chapter 1. I failed miserably at this game. I need to go back and play it single player so I can just do it myself instead of playing it with other people, because just like any Dungeons and Dragons campaign, it dies in the first 2 weeks. So I need to go back and play it myself and see what the ending is like. But BG3, it's
Yeah.
Oh, that is so sad. I
It's
was
gonna be hard
ready
to
to
play.
push KOTOR across the finish line, Dymlos.
sorry, bud.
I would have done it.
I'm right there with you.
Dymlos,
My heart wanted
Dymlos.
to.
I'm getting you something nice for Christmas, Dymlos. You're gonna have a nice gift under the tree for going with the right choice on.
All right. Well, we have had a ton of fun filling out our bracket, and you can have a ton of fun filling out your own bracket and win fabulous prizes. So make sure you head over to the staticgroup.live Discord. Make sure you download the blank bracket and do exactly what we did, which is just get yourself a Paint, or I'm using Canva or whatever, and put your picks in, and you can win some prizes. And so starting tomorrow, we'll start voting. So there's a voting section in the Discord as well. And so I'll put up the matchup in the morning. Then you go in, you put the emoji that matches what you want to vote for, and then whoever has the most emojis at the end of the day, they will be the winner, and they will advance. So super fun. We have a great time with this every year. Make sure you get your votes in. Make sure you fill out a bracket. You don't have to know what all the games are. I don't know what all these games are. You just pick the ones you like, or pick the ones that sound the best, or whatever. Part of the awesomeness of having this many games is you just randomly pick some stuff. And most of the time when you're doing bracket stuff, it's always the person that has no idea what they're doing anyway that wins. So
Yes, totally true. Totally, exactly right.
if you've ever done a March Madness sports bracket. So all right, everyone. Yeah. Well, Therek and I have to get going, so we're not going to do a lot of final thoughts, but like lightning round final thoughts, Therek.
No, man. Like Ziploc said it best in chat, we took a crazy journey to get where we needed to go, but we arrived at the proper location. That's 100% right. Thank you, Ziplocs, for summarizing this experience very well. But I love this stuff, you guys. This is when you announce this Draq, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is right up my alley. I love it. So I had a ton of fun.
The best part about this is finding those games that you've not played before, right? Like these are like 64 of the greatest games of all time, right?
Yeah.
Some better than others, obviously, but I'm gonna go play Dragon Quest
and I'm gonna play
Dragon Age. You're gonna go
Dragon Quest. You had it right the first time.
Dragon Quest 11.
Don't play the wrong game. I'll be upset.
Sorry, I'll text you before I.
Okay, yeah, please do.
Yeah, so that's what this is all about: finding new games that. Maybe Dragon Quest 11 is going to be the greatest RPG in my book. I don't think it'll ever top Earthbound, because nothing will, because it's such a great game. If you haven't played Earthbound, please go play it. It's such a great game. You will love it. It's a little quirky. The controllers are kind of sucky, and the things you have to do are old. Could use some quality of life updates, but go play these games. They're great games. If you don't like JRPGs, I'm sorry. Go play them. They're good. They are good games.
Absolutely.
Go play KOTOR. All right, I got to get going. We've had super much fun. Join the Discord. Fill out a bracket. Vote tomorrow.
Thanks, everyone, for coming out.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good night.